get a quick, this is priceless, a quick behind the scenes shot of Marion and I trying to set this up. So each week we get just a little bit better. No panic this week, but Marion is doing the techie bit because I can't do that, or at least I can do some, but not too much of it. And I kind of rely on her. Never rely on anyone because sometimes they're too busy, but then you've got to learn. But so I do.
Well, it's nice. You know what it's nice to do, Juliet? It's nice to rely on people when you, when they can support you rather than do it for you. Exactly. Because social connection calms our mental processes down, doesn't it? Gives us more access to our own intelligence. So when we feel supported, we actually find jobs to do much easier, but we don't have to hand over the job.
No, that's right. So it's good to have.
Okay, so right, we need to come in and we need to come and change it, Juliet, because I'll be sharing it. And oops, hang on, I'm really busy on Facebook because I've got another event tonight. So I want you to go to a Facebook screen in your browser or...
Yes, okay. Yeah. I'm on Facebook, yes.
Oops, okay.
I'm on my Facebook page. Hello, everybody.
So if you can see on the Facebook page where it says Juliet is live, can you see where you're live now? Can you see that?
I can't see anything. Hang on, let me refresh the page. Let me refresh.
On your own page.
Oh, there we are, yes.
Yeah, okay. So above it, you can see where it's under your name and it says the two little heads. Click on those two little heads. Will it do it? Oh, it won't let me do
under my name. Oh, yes. Two little heads.
The two little heads means it's only for your friends. So security-wise, I can't share it to people who don't know you.
That's weird. I don't know how it does that. It's public now. That's what happened last time, wasn't it?
Yeah, so if I refresh, let me see if you've made it, if it's actually gone public for me. Because all that means is then I can share your link on my timeline and people won't go, I've just clicked on it and it didn't work, because that's what's been happening.
Oh, Annalise has already said hello, Juliet, Marion. Annalise, thank you so much for being here and supporting our desperate attempts to enlighten the world, enlighten ourselves. So welcome.
Yeah. Brilliant.
Welcome, Annalise. So as you join, if you could just share this, because we really hope to put out some important messages. That's strange. There must be a time lag because...
Yeah, there is. There's always a time lag.
Yeah, because I'm doing things on this Facebook that I'm not actually doing in this moment. That's very spooky. So
time is a mental construct.
Yeah, I'm going to go back to the restream so I can see myself there as it's happening, as I perceive myself. Okay. So yes, as you come aboard. Oh, we've got some questions. Annalise.
So now you can see the questions. Excellent. So I was going to say, if you stay there, you'll be able to see, because that's where I find the conversation.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you, Annalise. Yeah. Let's see what else.
So let me just get...
Oh, bless you. That's really made my day, Annalise. That's so wonderful. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. What else?
Oops. Can you still hear me?
I can still hear you. I can hear you. So what we hope to demonstrate, Marion and I, is that we all have a voice and we all have skills, and we may be at different levels. Thank you, Annalise. What you doing? What you doing?
I'm trying to get the link and I keep clicking on the video. Sorry.
Okay. Which link are you trying to get?
The video link so that I can share it on my timeline. The
video, what, from Restream?
No, from Facebook.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you just go. It doesn't matter.
So that's all. I'm sorry that I was. I'm gonna love our conversation while I'm here because I love it anyway.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go to my timeline now, and I'm going to say, everybody, come and see me live right now.
Okay. So yeah.
So we might get some more.
So what we want to encourage is empowerment, is finding your voice, putting your voice out. And we may have various levels of this, of what our capacity is to do it, because when we're traumatized, the first thing that happens is our social nervous system shuts down. And the social nervous system is the part of the nervous system that is about speaking. It controls the muscles of the throat, controls the eyes, controls the ears, controls the language center in the brain. So if we can encourage and support people to speak and speak their truth, that means already the level of activation and trauma is going down. and they're becoming more empowered, and then their social nervous system, your social nervous system, is turned on, and then there can be relationship and engagement. So by encouraging more and more people to get empowered and to find their voice, and then to do the techie bit, to start being able, I mean, everybody has this capacity at this point in time with the iPhones or different kinds of technology to make our videos, put the information out, to share. Yeah. And let's get the message out. What do we need to do to heal globally? Because we are in a massive amount of traumatic activation at this moment in time. So, and that's what makes it so stressful. Oh, lots of people are. Vicky, hi. Let me see. Ah, wonderful. This is getting so. Who else is this? Annalise, yeah, that's me. And Avril is here. Jack. Wonderful. Okay.
So what I'm gonna do now, you're gonna get even more giddy. Wait till you hear this, giddy pants. I'm gonna go on YouTube and tell you how many people are watching us on YouTube as well.
0.
No, we had one last week, didn't we? We had one last week looking, and we've had a few views since then as well. So it's good.
Fantastic.
Then when I've been there, I'll go somewhere else. I'll let you know what I'm up to.
Okay, you're going to keep doing that, and I'm going to have to keep talking.
You don't have to. I can join you.
Oh, good. Multitasking. Women are good at this, they say. So, yeah, if we want the world to change, we have to bring our collective wisdom together. Big Brother, Bill Gates, what are the other Big Brother's horrors?
All the pharmaceuticals, all the agrochemicals, all the petrochemicals, all the banks.
Yeah, all the social media platforms, all the Zuckerbergs and the Bezos, and they all want to shut us down. They don't want us all to bring our wisdom together. They want to dictate one message, and that is that health comes at the end of a needle or out of a pill, and that the more poison we put in the environment, the happier we'll be, because we won't have to think about anything anymore, because our brains will be so zombied as they put fluoride in our water and etc., and EMF everywhere.
And what did that Klaus Schwab, Anal Schwab I call him, what did he say? He said, you will own nothing and you will be happy.
Yes, you will have to rent it from us.
He didn't say have to. He made it sound like we'd love to.
Yes. Yeah. Well, we don't want that, because we all come in different shapes and sizes. There's no one thing that fits everyone. You cannot bleep people, because everybody's going to have a different reaction. There isn't one medicine that's going to suit everyone, because our metabolism is different, our capacity to deal with toxicity is different, our needs are different, our DNA is different. Every single thing, we're all unique, so you cannot give a set medicine. You know, whether, I mean, this whole pharmaceutical thing has been going on for a long time, since the whole thing with the Rockefellers taking over the setting up the pharmaceutical companies, educating doctors in the pharmaceutical method, giving them backhanders so that they then train in drug therapy.
It's meticulously organized. It is meticulously planned and organized. It appears like some things are either organic or accidental or coincidental. Meticulous organization. That's what I'm starting to see even more of.
Yeah, absolutely. And to give the illusion that we have choice, to give the illusion that when we support green issues and social concerns, that this is a movement that we have choice about, but that also is manipulated. It's like the Black Lives Matter, the climate change, the Oxfam.
Oh my God, did you see? I saw a picture of a post yesterday it must have been, and it was, oh, do you know who it was? It was that lovely lady who's in Peru when we did an interview with the four of us, and she was on there. You know who I mean?
Davinia.
Davina McCall, something like that.
Yeah.
She put an image up and it was recycling. So, I mean, I've been saying this for years, but I never saw evidence of it, but I just knew. The recycling, as soon as they started to say you can mix it, I knew that's the end of any real recycling, because the cost of cleaning and sorting recycled rubbish is so high, nobody would ever pay it. So then it was on the TV. It was found in landfill in Malaysia, in Thailand, and in China. And Davina put a picture up yesterday or the day before. And it was literally, you know, the way you see when they trawl fish and they bring in 1 million tons of fish, they were putting 1 million tons of our waste in the water, in the ocean.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
So that's what you're recycling. That's what happens to your recycling. If you put your recycling in a plastic bin and you put it outside for the bin men to take it away, you're better to put it in the normal landfill rubbish, because at least it's going into landfill and it's not going into the oceans. Just horrendous. And they could incinerate it. They could quite easily incinerate it and capture the fumes and treat the fumes. There's a clean way to deal with all of our rubbish, but they will not put the money in to actually create the technology to clean up the rubbish.
This is the evil in all this. It's not. It's the way we've been captured. So human beings are naturally caring about their environment. They're naturally caring about each other. They're not bad, and yet the big brother we were talking about, they're giving us the message that we're bad, that we are destroying the environment, so that we are destroying the climate, that we are, and they're giving us these messages. Oh, there are these solutions, this organization or that organization, and they're capturing our energy.
Yeah.
And we don't see that that's happened. So we give our energy to it. And we're actually being tricked because we want to do these things. We want to do what's right. But actually our energy and our attention and our money is all being taken for the wrong purposes.
Yeah.
It's just been turned around to lead us into this sick agenda, 2030 and beyond, where we're completely enclosed in these cities and we have no access to the countryside, and we're transhuman, and it's a cashless society and all these things, and it's total control, and nobody has any individuality. So this is what we have to stand up against, and what we have to see through is all the places where we were giving our energy, and it seems really counterintuitive to withdraw our energy from those things, because those are our beliefs and what we stand for, and we want to support it. But unfortunately, it's a con. It's a total con. We have to set up our own organizations. We have to know right from the grassroots that the organization is authentic, the people leading it are good.
You have to do it yourself. We have to stop relying on information to come in from outside. We have to witness to receive information, not receive information.
Yeah.
I worked in a charity for a long time, and it was such an eye-opener. I'd been traveling around Africa years before, but I was in a village for a couple of days, and they kept saying to me, "Oh, you must meet Mr. Oxfam. You must meet Mr. Oxfam. He's the best person in our village." Mr. Oxfam lived in the biggest house in the village with a wall around it, with barbed wire on it, with a driver and a car, in a village where people lived in shacks. That was Mr. Oxfam. He was a local guy as well, but he was the one, in favour. And anyway, the charity that I ended up working in, it's called Helios. And Helios was a group of about 30 or 40 healers who all do complementary and alternative therapies. And we support the community that has been diagnosed with HIV and being fed toxic drugs to support the HIV. And so they were all getting sicker and sicker, but the drugs weren't helping. They were making them sicker. And they were frightened if they come off the drugs that they would die of the HIV, they would get AIDS and die. And so they're trapped in this toxic medication-taking environment. Well, we were in a community where we were treating them.
Yeah.
And it was like you could get a massage for £2. I mean, most people paid 15 or more, but it was like, this is where I started to understand how many different complementary and alternative therapies there are. And the reason that I worked there for so long was because the guy who runs it is called Greg, and he spends all of his money on this charity. and he runs it. He owns it. It's his baby. And he spends every moment of every day that he's awake in the office. He's in his 70s or 80s now.
Oh, bless. Yeah.
And honestly, he lives and breathes this charity. And although I eventually, my beliefs around the drugs and the virus and all of that information shifted, so I wasn't in alignment with their belief structure across what the disease and the medication needs were, I absolutely 100% supported his heart and his soul and the way that he's put that into that charity. So if anyone ever talks to me about charities and wanting to donate to charities, that is the first thing I would ever recommend, because I've had the personal experience. So the information I've got about that charity is first-hand experience. It's not information that was served to me by somebody else. And I think that's where we go wrong, because we're told we have to listen to what we're told. We have to pay attention to what we're told rather than pay attention to what we experience.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And we could go off on a whole nother track. There's so much that we could share and talk about. And we have a message here from Vicky. Yeah, can you see this? I've just put it up on the street. My eyes are terrible. I have to put my glass.
I can do. I'll see it in a minute. I'm tweeting at the moment, Julie.
Oh my God. So, okay, let me look. Excuse me, everyone. I'm absolutely horrified at the prospect of children being vaccinated. Bleep. Maybe you shouldn't say that word. Jabbed. I just want to save all the children of the world. I don't just do it for my son. I do it for all my children. Yeah. Absolutely. Absolutely.
I haven't got children, and I'll fight for your children.
Yeah, me too. I'll fight for your children. And unfortunately, this is part of the topic I wanted to bring in as well. And we have talked about it on previous videos. It's like, what happens when we want to save our children, when we want to save the people close to us with our awareness of what's going on, and they are completely disconnected from our view, and they're completely buying into the mainstream. So it's a source of enormous pain. And I've been processing this for weeks and weeks with various friends and family members. It's like, what do you do about them when you can't save? You know, we each have our own karmic path, if you like. We each have our own understanding. And there's all sorts of factors that go into why people aren't why they aren't waking up, why they aren't getting the message. And knowing that doesn't make it any less painful. I mean, it's hugely painful.
Yeah.
Hugely. And I've just hit a brick wall again with this, and I don't know what to do about it.
Oh, well, this is interesting, Juliet, because I'm coming out of the other side, I think, at the moment with this. So maybe this is a good time to start to talk to you about what's happening for me right now, because I've got 4 brothers. I've got no children. So my next of kin are my 4 brothers. And I'm from a family with Irish descent, descent, whatever the word is. Let me go to a screen where I can actually just see you, and it's in time. Okay. Yeah. Am I here and am I in time? Yeah, there we are.
Yeah, okay. Yeah.
So for years, I've drunk less and less, and that has created more and more distance between my 4 brothers. And there is one of my brothers who I'm really, really close to. We have a very spiritual kind of a connection. I don't like even calling myself spiritual, even though I know everyone thinks I'm a super spiritual space cadet. There's just something about that word that is old programming from the past about, you know, religion and stuff like that. I don't like. It feels messy. But really, you know, we see each other in truth. It's one way, I suppose, of saying it. Just move so I've got a bit less weird light on me. And so we see each other in this truthful way, and it's very honest and open. And even when it gets a bit messy and a bit murky, there's space enough in our relationship that we can say, oh, it's a bit messy and it's a bit murky, and not take it personally. Whereas with the others, it gets very personal feeling. So it's difficult to communicate my truth because they feel judged by me, or I think they feel judged by me. And I don't want them to. So then I start walking on eggshells, and then I'm not being myself even more. And then they feel that. And then it just really disrupts the relationship. And they don't know how to speak to me, and I don't know how to speak to them. And it's like, I can't do any right and I can't do any wrong. And they feel like I can't do any right and I can't do any wrong. And so we've got these really icky relationships. And now with my other brother, this is starting to happen. with the one brother that I did feel I could still communicate with, this is starting to happen. And it's to do with medications, the opinion of the virus, excuse me, and the opinion of the medical world looking after people. And my experience has been that the medical world has actually increased my disease and symptoms. And so right now, my opinions and judgments on the medical world are actually a little bit skewed to the negative, which I know is out of balance. I appreciate it's out of balance, but I'd rather be out of balance to the negative rather than being sucked in to the mind of pharmaceutical control, which is what I see. And so it's created this massive divide between us. And I'm finding it really hard to not want him to change. I'm finding it really hard for him not to want. I want him to change. I want him to change his opinion of me. I want him to change his beliefs so that they agree with me. And it's almost as if the bond between us cannot exist while we both have these different ways of thinking, behaving, and believing. But that's not really true. Because if that's true, then that means that my belief structure and his belief structure are the things that's creating the toxicity. So I've got to believe that there's a spiritual bond that's not human, it's not in the mind, it's not part of our 3D human experience. The spiritual bond that we've got, and maybe, there may be past lives, there may be past vows, there may be past contracts, all of that stuff might be going on. But right now, in this moment, all I'm aware of is we are finding it really difficult to communicate. We're finding it really awkward, and we're finding it really uncomfortable to even consider being in each other's company. And this is really weird. So what my understanding has been, I've been looking into tulpas, which is this hive mind, tribe mind, entities, possession.
What's the word again? What's the word?
Tulpas. It's a Buddhist word. In English, it's called egregore. 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 It's an entity. It's an artificial mind cloud, thought cloud. It's cultural. It's a cult. So the alcoholic family has got its cloud. Now, because I wasn't complying, they turned against me and they pick on me, but I turned against them and I pick on them. So what I have to do is I have to extricate myself without turning against and picking on. So I can't keep forcing my beliefs on them. And I can't keep expecting them to change. And it doesn't matter if I think what they're doing is completely fucking wrong. It doesn't matter. None of my business. It's their business what they do. It's my business what I do. And me expecting them to change anything about who they are or what they do, or me assuming they've even got the capacity to do that, is messing with my head and my heart.
Yeah, it's really hard. It's massively hard.
It's really hard. It sounds easy when you say it, but oh my God. Every minute I'm being sucked back in emotionally. But the emotions belong to this entity. The emotions belong to the egregore. What is mine is my feeling. So when I feel relaxed, that's all I can connect to. Me feeling relaxed or me feeling not relaxed. This is where the Vipassana, that's the practice of Vipassana, is to tap into feelings, not emotions, feelings, feeling hot, cold, wet, dry, relaxed. Exactly. So it's not about emotions. It's not about thoughts. It's not even about words, really.
Yes, it's about being in the present moment, but coming to, the intensity of these close relationships where at this moment they're being severed by the mind control that's going on. Yeah.
This is part of the cloud, this mind cloud, this tribe cloud, this culture cloud. But there's millions of culture clouds, and we fit in loads of them, and we have different roles in them. So you've got your family culture cloud, you've got the school culture cloud, you've got the work culture cloud, you've got the religion culture cloud.
That's a wonderful concept, and that's like the mind creating these concepts, and it makes you comfortable, perhaps, if you sit there. And then there's the heart, there's the pain of the heart. For me,
but the pain of the heart belongs to the same artificial intelligence. The being feels either relaxed or other things. And the goal is to find the relaxed state of being. Yeah, because that's where growth and everything happens. And so, because this is where I've just got some real clarity this week, there is a huge difference between emotion and feeling. Feeling is my being experience. Sorry, things that my being experiences. Emotions are part of this cloud, part of this cultural cloud, this egregore.
Yeah, so
heartbreak is part of the egregore.
So to actually cement the relationship, because relationship is important, rather than fragment it. So all the pressure at the moment is to fragment it. It's like, how can I truly show up and relate in my authenticity from my heart with this person that appears to be?
You have to love the person and accept their beliefs, behaviors, and capacities. It's called radical acceptance, isn't it? That's why it's so hard. And it sounds really, it trips off the tongue, Juliet. Oh my God, it's doing my brain in.
But as I've said quite a few times, like the biggest wounding for me was attachment, around attachment. So for me, my children have been, having them was massively healing, but the fragmentation is
not. You see, that's the problem. You're assuming that your children are healing you. It's not.
No,
they're now showing you the wound.
In my mind, that was like as a teenager, it's like when I had no one. If only I had children, I would have someone to love. And it's like, then it was, I mean, it's been such a journey for me. It's like years and years and years trying to have a child and losing them. It was like they kept being taken away from me. And it's like, if only, and it's incredible angst.
Yeah. And that is all part of this belief that children will be a loving.
Yeah, and it's all being stirred up at this moment in time, because I went through all that, and now they're still being taken away. They're still.
Yes. So when are you going to learn it's not about the children, and it's not about your attachment to your children?
Exactly. Whatever
it's so hard. It's so hard.
It's whatever is going on for us at this moment is being stirred by this huge mess that we're in. This huge. I mean, and there's an incredible amount of abuse happening. I mean, we're in this huge collective trauma, and we're in this hugely abusive societal abuse, government abuse, cultural abuse that's happening. And it's like, how do we actually get out of that? How do we move out of? We're getting so many comments. I know
we will have to go through them in a minute. We have to stop feeding the egregore, stop feeding the tulpa. We have to stop assuming that the attachment to a specific person is what's going to heal my heart. We have to stop assuming that the love for my child and the reciprocation of that love is going to heal my heart. We have to stop assuming the love for my brother and the reciprocation of that is going to heal my heart.
So we're trying to get out of this global abusive pattern, which is just like a bigger version of what it's like to be in an abusive relationship, a man, woman, for instance, or whatever. In no disrespect. Do you
know what, Juliet? Disrespect, because you didn't mean it. If somebody takes disrespect from your words, let them have it. Yeah. Let them have it. Don't say no disrespect.
I don't care about all this political correctness, because I think that's another
egregore. It's another egregore.
It's another egregore. It's another.
Great, isn't it? I'm so like, oh.
To be politically, I am not politically correct. I'm only concerned about real connection of the heart with everyone around me. So it's like, how do you get out? I've been in several abusive marriages. How do you actually extricate yourself from that when you're in the abusive relationship?
I've just seen a lovely comment. I've got to say this, Juliet, and it's from Annalise, and she says, we have to heal our own heart. Annalise, we don't. The heart doesn't need healing. We have to feel. You have to learn how to feel. It's like we think we're broken, but we're living in the thought that we're broken. We're not living. Yeah. And then it's hard, isn't it? It's so hard because it's not what we've been doing. But we don't have to heal our heart. It doesn't need healing. It's okay. We have to feel it's okay. Whether it's painful, it's okay.
And the planet.
There's a really lovely quote that says, pain is in it's another Buddhist quote. I love Buddhism and Sanskrit, but just love it.
You've really come on strong with the Buddhism this week.
I know, yeah. Pain is inevitable. Misery is optional.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah. So I always teach about rasa. Rasa is my favorite Sanskrit word. And rasa is the juice, the juiciness. Pain has juiciness. Shit has juiciness. Mosquito bites have juiciness, As well as fun has juiciness and peaches have juiciness, everything has its rasa. You have to say it with a r. Everything has its rasa. Everything, good, bad, indifferent. Everything has its rasa. And this is the thing, it's like when we allow the truth to be what we experience, and we don't resist, we don't put any resistance into it, the body can relax. Even if you're in pain, the resistance to pain is why we suffer. That's why we're miserable, not the pain. Pain's just pain. Yeah, great. Alex has just agreed with me. Love it. Pain is pain. Resistance to it is suffering.
Let's look at these because they're zinging by and I can't even, but we will look later if we don't see them all now. So
yeah, let's go to Facebook because we were in present time screen. Now we'll go to the
why
back.
Why do we go to Facebook? Why can't we just show them here?
All right, can we go from here? Okay. Can you see them all?
Well, I don't know if they're all. Yeah,
I can't scroll on mine.
Okay, so
I got to go back to Facebook.
Okay, let me. Bear with us, everyone. We're doing our utmost to be really...
They love us, Juliet. They love us.
Let me see. So
we love them. We love you.
Okay, so I'm looking now, trying to see Selena. Is it? Oh, excuse me if I get your name. Oh my God!
Why didn't you put your glasses on? Is that vanity? Is that vanity?
It's vanity. It's vanity. It's left over when I was 14-year-old. And they said, you have to wear glasses. And I said, no, I'm never wearing glasses. And I've avoided wearing them all my life. Most of the time I can manage. But to see these little things, and I put them on and I still can't see. So what's the point of it? So, Selena.
Go on.
Yeah, so I'm trying to be vain, but I'm
You're not doing a very good job because now you just look like you can't see. What's that doing for your vanity? If you use, you're on your Mac, aren't you? So use Flower Plus.
What's
and it'll make so flower is the command key.
Oh, right.
Plus is the equals key. Flower plus, and it'll make things get bigger.
Oh my God!
Magic! I am.
Yeah, but I can't see I can't see the questions now. So find common ground. Heart. How do you do those heart things? Heart. Oh, that's quite good. Yeah, find common ground.
Sometimes you can't find common ground. The common ground is the fact that you've both got a heart. That's it. Yeah. It ends there.
We share beliefs and opinions, but not take it as part of ourselves, as we are our own and responsible for our own thoughts, which we can alchemize internally.
Yeah, exactly. So the lack of resistance, the allowing of what is, the radical acceptance, that's where the alchemy happens. Because then we're not feeding the egregore.
How do I go back? How do I unheart? How do I
flower minus? Flower minus, which the minus is next to the 0.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah.
I always learn the cool techie things from Marion. So, Alex, hi. Oh, my God, you're here. I don't believe you're... Well, this is getting really cool, Marion. So... And just before that, there's somebody just above it spoke as well. Vicky, radical acceptance is away from me. I'm telling people to go. That's from Vicky. To go forth and multiply. Yes, I would like to go forth and multiply. So,
multiply what though? Be careful what you wish for, Vicky.
I've had some amazing experiences this week. They say when you're in the flow, then everything comes together. And it's like, I've just decided, because I'm really trying to get the gardens together, the healing gardens here, and every time I've spent out towards something, it's like ping straight back. It comes back into my bank account. So it's like we're really mobilizing.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. So
all of you that are listening, and all of you that will be listening in the future, you need to look for the Facebook page, which is called Glastonbury Healing Gardens Glastonbury. What's it called, Juliet? Do you know?
Glastonbury Healing Gardens Co-op, yeah.
The co-op. Because Juliet has got this enormous, beautiful piece of land in Glastonbury behind her house. It's sacred land. And not only is it sacred land, it's pristine sacred land. It's never been, well, we don't know, but as far as we know, it's never been cultivated. It's never had any kind of chemicals on it. So it's real soil with real life in it. And she's got these 3 amazing, enormous round beds where you grow parsnips, kale, rhubarb, celery, potatoes,
motherwort,
go on, finish the list.
cleavers, nettles, tarragon, anything you can think of, everything's allowed to grow. But each circle has 12 beds. There's 36 growing beds altogether. Plus there's an orchard and there's bees and a wildlife area and the healing spring in the middle. Yeah, it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. It's my joy.
And you can stay at the properties that Juliet's got there, and you can help in the garden. You can eat from the garden. You could go and have a piss in the garden to help to feed some of the plants. I don't know.
So a little pot for pee in the compost.
Yeah.
Oh yes, we've had these fabulous compost bins built, and there's some little potters, so you can do your pee-pees and put it in the compost.
Yeah.
And, because urea, it speeds up the composting process.
Brilliant.
That's great. So
it breaks things down, doesn't it?
So I don't know how we got onto that, but Alex, hi. My business partners, some of whom I've been in business with for 15 years, have all had their first jab in the last fortnight. Oh my God. I heard this on Monday. I'm gobsmacked and feeling literally having to reorientate my relationship with them.
Yeah.
I hear Marion's ... It's hugely, hugely challenging. Alex, we can sit here and we can talk about it, but doesn't mean to say that talking about it's going to make it easier.
Yeah.
I had some news yesterday from somebody I'm really close to that absolutely refuses even to look at the government facts that I've shared with this person. And when I had that news, I was so distressed. I got in my car, I had to go somewhere, and I just realized, like, I wasn't taking anything in. It's like 10 miles down the road, I was still not, it's like at some level it was processing, it's been processing all day yesterday, all day today. And
takes such a long time to process these things, doesn't it? Because we perceived ourselves in the past, oh, well, I'm all right now. I know I was a bit shocked at the time, but I'm all right now. It doesn't. It takes ages for your body to get that enough time to even take it in, never mind process it.
Yeah, because you do go into shock when you hear the news. And I met an amazing young man today who came along to work at Healing Waters to do some gardening work for me in the Healing Waters gardens, which is just a bit separate from the healing gardens. These are the flower beds and things. And he was very distressed. He said he feels like his mum and dad are dead. When he heard the news that he said, I know they're not, but that's the feeling. Like when people take this, and this is the inevitability. It's like gene therapy. It's not. I mean, the original thing with the those things beginning with V, that whole program that's gone on for the last, I don't know, 50, 60, 70, 80, 100 years. That's bad in its own right. But this new thing, we talked about it previously, the gene therapy, the lethal injection. Once you have that, it's changing your DNA. It's going to, and nobody knows what the outcome is because it's in a trial, and it's going to be in a trial till 2023. So there's this great feeling of fear, like somebody has it. It's like we just know that it's going to go on doing these harmful things in the body, even though that person may say, well, I've just had it and I'm fine. You don't know what the outcome is. Nobody.
I want to send them a picture of some thalidomide children. That mother thought she was fine because she wasn't having morning sickness anymore. Look at her baby.
Yeah. It's too tragic. And then somebody else, a friend of mine, said, oh, why do you want to interfere? Everybody has their own choices. And of course they do. And this is what we've just been discussing.
But if the problem is with that, though, there is an issue there, isn't there, Juliet? Because it's not choice if you are not informed. Informed consent is choice. But when the information is biased and untruthful, that is not informed consent. That's where the problem is, I think.
Yeah, absolutely. And to go on to the UK Med Freedom Alliance, because they've got all sorts of open letters and informed consent forms, that our government is actually acting illegally at the moment because they're actually posting lies.
Exactly. So how is there informed consent if the information is a lie? It's not, is it?
it's
Is that called coercion?
Massive coercion, and that's where it's so painful, where you want to, your loved ones, you want to give them the information and they won't even look. They say no, absolutely, and don't talk. This is what I keep getting, and don't talk to me about it ever again. And it's like the gag, you know, we're censored on the social media and everywhere, and then your own family puts the gag on you, and it's like agony. Agony. It's like you are not informed and you're going with this and you believe in it and you will not listen to me. You won't receive this information.
Yeah. And so that's the truth. They will not receive the information from you. That's the truth. So where can you do radical acceptance knowing that that is the truth?
Well, I guess we go gardening. We go into our
I love that. Go gaga.
We go into a sacred space. We go into something that's really deeply resourcing. We connect with our inner selves. We nourish ourselves. Yeah. We sit with that, and we have to process and process and process. And it's painful. It's very painful, and we just have to keep processing and just see, like, maybe the bigger picture is that there's this huge planetary collective trauma healing going on.
One of the things that I love about Real Truth as well is it's a really great woman who Mark Atwood has been interviewing, an Israeli woman. She's a psychic channel, fabulous. I can't remember her name. And she says, but there's no death. People get all upset about dying and loss. There's no death. When you think about the spirit world, there's no death. There is no death. What are you worried about? And it's just like, wow, when you actually sit in that truth, that relaxes my being. Absolutely.
I had a tremendous panic there because we were almost dead of energy. It's like, oh my God, it's going to cut off. But anyway.
Well, it would just be me sat on my own. I'd have a great time. I don't know what your problem is.
Talking, but I'm hosting, so.
No, it would sit with me.
Would it?
Yeah, it would stay with me because
you oh my God, I didn't know that.
There you go. So does that relax the being a little bit?
Yes, absolutely. So who else is there? There's Annalise. I'm with you.
Oh, we've got so many messages. We've got 41 messages. Oh,
really?
Yeah. So let's see.
You have to heal your own heart.
Go on, I'll let you read the messages. That's good.
Oh, but I can't read. Okay. Hang on. Find common ground, can openly share beliefs and opinions. People can see this, but not take it as part of ourselves.
I think the biggest thing I've realised this week, Juliet, is capacity. That's what I've realised. I am expecting my brothers to have a capacity to change, to have the wherewithal to change, to have not even the desire or the information, the capacity. And I do not know what anyone else's capacity is, actually. The truth of it is I've got no idea about anybody's capacity to do anything except me. No, and sometimes I get mine, sometimes I get me wrong.
Yeah, it's like we can overthink what we can do and we can't do. So hang on, here's somebody else. Now, this is Vicky. I've had 2 letters and a text to get the shot. They are very persistent. It's like people think there is no choice when you talk to them. Well, yeah, the UK GovMed website has those letters, templates that you can use.
So you don't even need letters or templates. It's your personal demeanour.
Exactly.
It's your personal demeanour. Yesterday, I walked into the co-op and over the tannoy, it said, you must wear a mask to enter this shop. They must have seen me coming in and said it over the tannoy. And I smiled at the security guard and I went, hello there, how are you doing today? And I went to the veggies and I picked up, I've never worn a mask ever. So that just to let you know that that's never happening. And then it come again on the tannoy. To be in the shop, you must wear a mask. It is mandatory to wear a mask. And I just ignored it completely, wandered around. I had a song in my head, so I was kind of dancing while I was walking, said hello to the security guy, said hello to everybody. And by the time I got to the till, nobody said anything to me. I was doing loads of eye contact. My demeanour was so cheerful that they didn't even know how to say to me, can you hear the tannoy? Because if they'd said that, I would have said, I know, yeah, it's a bit annoying. Do you have to listen to that all day? That's all I would have said.
Yeah, it's about feeling, it's like what your capacity is on the day. And
yeah.
can cope with
So
it.
yesterday, my capacity to float around singing a song in my head, regardless of what was being said to me, regardless of what people thought, didn't matter. And I was really cheerful, and I felt some good stuff's been happening for me this week, same as you, Juliet. So I was really feeling in the lap of the gods, and in this just lovely, luxurious universe has given me so much at the moment. Oh my God. And I walked into the co-op and they had like organic wax-free lemons. That really made me cheerful, do you know?
Yeah.
And so that cheeriness, nobody could even speak to me except when I got to the till. And the guy said to me, do you need a bag? And I went, no. I actually thought I'd heard him say, do you need a mask? So I said, no, it's fine. I've got my own. And I pulled my bag out and he just went, okay, good. So I'm not even sure if he said mask or bag, but I just assumed he'd said bag, and I pulled out a bag and he went, oh, okay. And then another little guy came behind and I thought, oh, here we go. Someone's going to actually finally have the wherewithal or the bollocks to talk to me. Do you know what he said to me? He said, hello, you've not been in here for ages. Nice to see you.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I think it depends how much you're in your own trauma activation,
Yeah.
what your capacity is, and
Exactly.
what you can cope with. It was very interesting. I was watching Sacha Stone talk, his video called Lies, Lies, Damned Lies, where he's talking with Robert Young, Judy Mikovits,
yeah.
Mikovits, and one other person who I didn't recognize, but Judy, who's the woman who's exposed Fauci and had all this.
Well, interestingly, she is the woman I was reading about over 10 years ago when I was working in this HIV healing centre. I didn't even, took me ages to go, like, this is the woman who I was getting news from indirectly. So, yeah, I love her.
Yeah, so she has done so much to bring all this to light because she did all the research and she exposed. I mean, if she was completely innocent at the time, she didn't know what she was exposing. Yeah. She was working with Fauci and wanted to publish her research to show how the bloodlines were contaminated with mouse retroviruses that had been put into all the blood that was then being injected into people, transfers and so on, and how this had got into been put into the V's they were creating at that time. And Fauci absolutely wouldn't let her publish her research. She didn't know there was anything, mind block, fishy going on. Yeah, she didn't know
love that you forgot the word fishy.
Well, that was not the word I wanted. She didn't, nefarious, she didn't expect that. She was just innocently doing her research. And he told her categorically she couldn't publish it. And then she got arrested, put into prison without any evidence or whatever. She was locked up for, I don't know whether it was several days or something. And then when she got out, because they couldn't hold her, her flat had been broken into and all her research stuff had been completely destroyed. So that took her years. She was in such a shock, years and years and years, and that her career was destroyed and everything. And it was only like many years later that somebody came along and supported her getting the message out. So what I'm coming to is this video with Sacha Stone the other day, Damn Lies. So she was talking a little bit about that, and they were talking about health. And Robert Young had some amazing stuff to share about health. Really recommend you listen to him. But what was shocking was that she talked about she was about to take a flight to go to another part of the USA to talk about her research. So she's completely anti-mask. She totally sees through the whole COVID hoax and everything. But on the plane, she was told she had to wear one. And from her research, she actually had her own that wasn't going to give her all the toxicity, all the plastic fibers and so on, because she suffers from asthma. And she said, no, I'm wearing this. And they said, no, you absolutely can't wear it. You have to wear this one. And she was like detailing all the science. Like, she's the most knowledgeable person on the planet, virtually, these issues. And the stewardess absolutely wouldn't let her. And they arrested her. They tied her arms behind her back. They put either a gun or something to her back. She didn't know what it was. Dragged her off the plane. They injured her really seriously. She really suffered. It was awful. Dislocated her shoulder or something.
Oh my God.
It's really curious. It's like she knows more than anything about this.
Yeah.
She was delivering the message. So was that set up because she was already been brutalized previously? Or was this like her something to do with her trauma pattern that she was, or was it because they're much harsher in this place, so none of us would get away with not wearing our masks? I don't know, but it was just.
I think, yeah. I mean, what comes to me is this about this? We know that their mindset is set, and we're trying to break it. But actually, we are then putting ourselves, mortal selves, at danger by trying to break that mindset. So I know I wouldn't even try to go into an airport at the moment, because I know how that fixed mindset, that fixed egregore entity, lives in every airport. It lives there right now. So I would choose to step into that, to attempt to break it. So I'm looking out. I'm consciously placed. This is with informed consent, isn't it? I would consciously place myself in danger to try to push my non-conforming ways into a conformist structure. Now I can choose that or not. But if I choose that and I end up with a dislocated shoulder, that to me is part of the risk that I would have to be prepared to take.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Absolutely. And some people are choosing to be on the front lines.
Yeah.
And
I think, yeah.
It's like, but this is a war. And when
Yeah.
you have an army, then you have the stormtroopers at the front. I know nothing about wars and armies, but you have different sections of the army that's doing different things. So
yes. So if I was to step into the airport today, I would have to be with like at least 100, 200, 300 other people who were in the same mindset as me, or at least against the fixed mindset. I would not try to do that on my own. And this is where armies come into play, isn't it?
Absolutely. Then the other thing when I was thinking about this morning is like the force of evil that we're up against. It's like the Gorgon. It's like
yes, well, that's where egregore comes from.
It's like you don't look at the face of the Gorgon. Who was it? Who with the shield and was looking in the shield, the reflection, so they could cut.
Oh yeah, I don't know the name.
So we have to go round. We have to.
Exactly. I lead my legions with me. I'm one of the legions of my own tribe or my own mindset right now. And there's no point in me trying to fight this. This is a bigger monster than one human. There's no point in me trying to fight that monster. I'm not Goliath or whatever the person is who does that sort of thing. I'm not Joan of Arc, because if I am, I have to appreciate from spiritual. I'll die, and that's okay, because you don't die if you're a spirit. So I could fight for it as a spiritual warrior, which would mean I was putting this flesh on the line. But at the moment, I'm quite happy in this flesh. I don't want it to be dead.
No, I don't. I'd rather it wasn't dead at this point.
Yeah. So I'm not going to confront that, because it is mortal danger.
Yeah, I have been on the front lines in a lot of ways and been very confrontational, and like there is a certain magic as well where you bring a certain energy and that.
So swanning around the co-op yesterday was a big deal for me in that way, because of the impact it had, for exactly what you've just said, that it made everybody else. I mean, I think the security guy was a bit jealous. He actually come up to me at one point with a basket. He said, "You've got an awful lot of things. Do you want a basket?" Never mentioned the mask. So it's like some people are starting to see, how can she be so cheerful in the face of all of this? She's not conforming, and she's not pissed off by the requests, the demands to conform, but she's not conforming and she's not pissed off. And that opens a space in their mind. But if they'd have said to me, "Get out now," I was quite prepared to walk out.
Yeah. So we've got 7 minutes left. Or it's 5:54.
All right, we've got 3 or 4 minutes left, because I need to get.
I just want to mention that the mind control and EastEnders. I mean, it's totally disgusting. So if anybody saw the EastEnders thing yesterday about I just had my second jab and like how they completely trashed out.
Don't need to watch EastEnders. That's all over Facebook every day, every minute of every day. I've got people congratulating each other.
Just using these programs and so on to control us. I mean, it was.
They always have. I haven't watched the telly for years. I haven't watched the telly for years, but the way that the telly makes you believe your life should be is programming. 100%.
I'd like people to look at that EastEnders thing, because it was so.
No, don't watch it. Don't watch it. Just stop it.
I've never
Decide what to do instead.
EastEnders. I don't even own a television. It was just brought to my attention.
Don't watch it. Don't watch it. Decide what to do instead.
Finally, the last
Practice what to do instead.
Okay. So I just want to make a little plug that my oh God, how do I get these? My trauma skills training starts in May, 6 modules, and we have a beautiful booklet for each module. It's all about.
One of the reasons that I'm able to sit here and shout at Juliet and we still love each other very, very, very much is because I've been through this training, and it has helped me to understand how to be myself. If I get a bit of anger, how to allow that anger to express itself, and how to not take it personally if Juliet shouts at me, and how I know she won't take it personally if I shout at her. And it's all because, honestly, it is because of the training that I've had with you, Juliet. So if everybody watching this video doesn't join the training, then you're bloody stupid.
It really is life-changing.
It's amazing.
And it's probably the only training of its kind in the whole world.
It is.
Yeah,
I've been talking about trauma since this job in Helios Centre. I've understood trauma and I've been talking about it, and I've been working with it and learning about it and working with it. And until I did your course, I had no idea how to expand my capacity to actually fucking do something about it.
Yeah, it's a very deeply integrated and powerful training. Really deep.
You were looking for some video clips talking about it, weren't we? I think we might just have to put that one in, Juliet, my little rant and swearing.
Yeah. So a few comments. Sorry, I can't. Yes, I thought how they were awful. Oh, yeah, okay. Thank you, the BBC. Yes. So what else is there? She's in jail for 5 days. Oh, thank you. Yes, that's absolutely Marion. No death. No. I like that idea. I don't want to die. Yeah,
it doesn't. It's the body that dies. That's just meat. And it's part of the earth. And earth needs death, life cycles.
Okay.
Life
cycles. We've just got, how long have we got left now?
Like no time. Let's go.
No time. So I'd really love it if you join my training, because I so love doing this work. It inspires me so much.
Yeah.
It excites me so much. And I love helping people find their voices.
And what will it be like if you never expand your capacity? How will life be? It'll be fucking shit. So get into expanding your capacity, or you're choosing to stay where you are. Informed consent. Get the information. Get the information. You get your own information from having the experience. You get the experience from doing the course. Honestly, it's amazing.
Okay, lots of love, everyone. Thank you so much for sharing. Love you.
Love you, Juliet. Love everybody who's watching too.
Yeah, bye. Bye. Do share. Bye.